Hello guys, so I hope all is well, and I just want to talk to you about my experience with getting my first microdermabrasion facial. It was very interesting, and I was like a tad bit nervous at first, but I wasn't anticipating any pain, which I was correct about. There wasn't any pain. It wasn't painful. It's just like this sucking kind of tingling feeling around your whole face. And she just was telling me, like, I remember as soon as I sat under the seat, she was like, oh, your skin is so confused. It's like, it's oily in the T-zone, and then it's dry around the lips and dry on the nose. So it's like combination skin, like oily and dry. And I definitely know about the oily part. I was like, yeah, I know I have oily skin. And then I was saying the main reason that I'm here for the microdermabrasion facial is not to lighten any dark spots. I've pretty much done all that on my own. I've lightened dark spots on my own. I have gotten rid of the 3D pimples. What I'm here for is to minimize my pores and just have an all-around more even skin tone. And if I can, get off a layer of like old skin or something. Because I have dealt with, even though, and that's another thing we need to address as Black people. Black people can experience sun damage. And it's so iffy for us to talk about because there's a whole thing about being prideful about our skin color, and it has nothing to do with that. Like, you should be prideful of whatever shade you are, but aside from shades and tones, you can damage your skin just health-wise, like cancerous skin cells, and it happens less, we're less likely for it to happen to than white people, but it happens to us as well. So that's something that needs to be addressed. I dealt with a little bit of sun damage as a kid where, yes, I kind of came back from the tan, but it was like damage, almost to the point, it was like this daycare or something. So anyways, moving on from that, I've always had like a facial like this in the back of my head just because I wanted to see if maybe the sun damage did something that was irreversible up until that point of the facial. So one thing that I really liked about it is in the end you get like this big jar thing of all that was in your skin. Like, it's like this yellow floating stuff, and there's like blackheads in there and like all the gross stuff that was in your skin. She was like, this is everything that was sucked out of your skin. And she was like, yeah, your face was super congested and now it's like breathing and free. You're gonna love the way it looks the next day. And she was right. The next day it was like super smooth, and I mean, my skin was already smooth when I came in, but it was like extra smooth the next day. And I did notice like my pores in the inner cheeks, which is where I really want to work on minimizing it, were definitely tighter and smaller. So overall, the treatment was not that invasive. I liked it, and I would do it again for sure. It's a little pricey. It was about 110 bucks. So like, plan for that and save for that if you must, if you can. And the esthetician that I went to is awesome. I really kind of opened up to her, and she opened up to me, and we shared some personal information and personal stories, and she made me feel better about what I had going on emotionally. And yeah, so my esthetician's name is Christy. If you live in Georgia, definitely check her out at Massage Envy. Call Massage Envy. That's where I got my microdermabrasion facial done, and it was awesome. And yeah, I meant to take a picture of everything that came out of my face, but it was like, ugh, this big bottle of yellow, gross floating stuff, and like blackheads floating and shit. It was disgusting. But it just makes you feel so gratified to know all that came out of your face. Like, ugh, I'm glad I did something to stop that. But she says, like, you'd be surprised, even people who have seemingly amazing skin, like, this stuff would come out. And because, like, there's always things that we miss as humans, and she's right. So, because I wash my face twice a day, I'm like, what? How? But at the end of the day, she was like, no, it's deeper than that. It's a deeper level that we suck from. So I was kind of happy to know that I had done that, worth the money to me, because I've been wanting to invest in my skin to really see a change. And yeah, she told me just go back to usual life. You are allowed to wear makeup, just wait a few days, which I have. It's been like 4 days, and yeah,